talking about New Jersey is a great transition into our next team, which is the New Jersey Devils, who find themselves in a very similar situation to the Senators. 22, 21, and 2, 46 points. They are a point ahead of the Ottawa Senators. They have a 2-7-1 record in their last 10. They have lost 4 straight games. You okay, Tim? Coughing up a storm out there. Jeez. Anyway, the Devils, the difference between the Devils and the Sens is that they cannot score as much as the Sens can score. And LeBlanc, for you, it's kind of funny because it's literally what you said to us back in September.
It is, yeah. And I was clowned for that, by the way.
I don't know if we clowned you. I'm just like, I don't know. I think they make the playoffs still. And they still can. The Senators still can. But it's going to take a lot. It's been a really bad week for New Jersey, especially since the Quinn Hughes trade broke with Minnesota. Devils fans are pissed. So it starts on Sunday, I believe, last Sunday, against the Carolina Hurricanes. Luke Hughes has 2 own goals, and they are booing this guy mercifully to no end every single time he touched the puck. Every time. Every time he touched the puck, they're booing him to no end. And we can discuss whether or not the booing was deserved, but in my opinion, I don't think they were booing him specifically. Maybe not in that moment. Devils fans are frustrated. They are frustrated they didn't get Quinn Hughes. They are frustrated the Devils weren't ready when Quinn Hughes was made available. They didn't even know if Quinn Hughes was going to be made available now. And that is just pure incompetence of Tom Fitzgerald. Next up, so they follow up that game where one of their teammates gets booed. They follow that up with one of the worst performances this decade that I've seen this decade. A 9-0 oblivion loss to the New York Islanders. It was an absolute, just demolition of New Jersey. And what's ironic about that game, the Islanders had 24 shots. The Devils had 44, but they couldn't freaking score. And that's been the story for this team for quite a bit here. In terms of goals for here in the Eastern Conference, the Devils find themselves with the least amount of goals of any team in the East. That's nuts. Moving on then. They play Pittsburgh on Thursday. They lose that game 4-1. Then you're coming in, and again, like you look ahead to even that game itself, you say to yourself, well, they should win that game. They're better than Pittsburgh, or at least they should be better than Pittsburgh, and they lose that game. Then you're coming into a back-to-back. They play on Monday against the Wild. When this podcast uploads, you will see that. They're playing Winnipeg on Sunday, today. That is a game. That is a team that just lost 11 in a row. They won their previous game, but that is a team that has lost 11 straight games. And the only reason why we're not talking about them today is because the Devils have been worse than them somehow during this stretch. And don't worry, we'll talk about Winnipeg at some point. But you go into that game. That is a game. You're going through a rough time right now. You're really struggling. You need to win. There's really no excuse. You need to win. They lose the game 4-3. 4 straight losses. They are 1-4 in 2026. Devils fans are frustrated. They are upset with the fact that they didn't get Quinn Hughes, that the Devils were not ready to get Quinn Hughes, and just how Tom Fitzgerald has essentially turned a team that when we looked at them after 22-23, we looked at that team as a contender for years. Years. And now a lot of us look at New Jersey. Yeah, they got Hughes. Yeah, they got Brett. We look at them in the light of like a secondary cup contender. You're telling me that New Jersey, with all these years of draft picks, all these years of players they've gotten, all of the sudden, like, their window feels like it's maybe 5 years? Are you serious? It's unacceptable. And just the incompetence of Tom Fitzgerald's insane. And I know that I'm a podcaster. I don't mean shit. I am calling for him to be fired. He should be fired.
I would agree with that take. First of all, I should just go here real quick. First of all, for the fans frustrated about not getting Quinn Hughes, I got 2 words: womp womp. Like everybody wanted Quinn Hughes. I'm sorry, like I'm not gonna get something that. Everything else though is valid. Everything else is valid, but like I'm not getting Quinn Hughes. Like tough titties. Like I don't. But Fitzgerald has been an incompetent GM for the past, I'd say, year and a half now. First of all, you know how Martin's struggling? Guess what? They signed him to an extension. You know,
yeah, they signed a
new extension.
Deal.
They caved on Luke Hughes and they gave him way too much money. And now every fan, when they touch the puck, just boos the shit out of him. Which I think those boos should be going to Tom Fitzgerald. Should be going to Quinn Hughes.
He's the highest paid defenseman on their team.
I know. Oh, and God, also, you signed Dougie Hamilton to stupid money and stupid term with a stupid no trade list.
I will briefly defend Hamilton because we are in the third to last year of that contract. I think when he signed that deal back in 2021, he was like 27. I think we said that deal would be pretty bad in the last couple of years. The problem is, though, he's only 32. Like, he's not like he's like late 30s and he's not playing well and we're in the like second to last year of this deal. Like, he's really struggled here in New Jersey. Here's the other problem with the Devils, and we talked about this off camera. They have an absolute logjam of defensemen. Yep. They have way too many defensemen.
But it's all on the right side, too.
Yeah, you know what's funny? I'm looking at cap wages right now. Shout out cap wages for those who don't know. It kind of defeats. They have Jonathan Kovacevic in here twice. Just want to share that on the screen. It's just, they really play.
That's great. That's great.
But yeah, like you're wrong. I don't care.
Yeah,
you're wrong.
But here's the other thing though. They have an absolute mountain of defensemen, and they got a guy in the AHL who we talked about who should be up there playing right now. In Seamus Casey, who we all think is very good, who should be up there. You have these log jam of defensemen. You have all these defensemen, and you somehow couldn't make a Quinn Hughes trade work to where the point was like, hey, we'll give you Simone Nemec or even the Seamus Casey for Hughes. I would trade Nemec. I'm not going to lie. Yeah, but I will say this. When you look at Nemec, do you think that he's better than Boyum?
No.
There you go.
Absolutely not.
The other issue is, too, I don't think the Devils have the depth up front to facilitate a Hughes trade.
They don't.
And a part of that is on Fitzgerald for not being able to acquire guys and draft picks he's made, not developing. It's a lot of incompetence. And again, not only that, they used their 10th overall pick last 2 years ago to draft another defenseman.
You drafted Anton Siliev, however the fuck you say his name. I'm sorry, the Devils needed to draft a forward, a dynamic forward, and I will defend this. It was a dynamic defenseman draft. It was like we had like 6 top heavy defensemen going there, but you're telling me you couldn't draft a dynamic playmaker, a dynamic goal scorer?
You had like 5
on the board, for God's sakes.
You already had like 5 top defensemen. Like, you already have a really stacked defense. Like, you have 9 guys up right now. And there's at least 2 other players in the AHL who could be NHL defense. I don't understand. It is pure incompetence. This guy, their forward core, and LeBlanc, you said this, I know. Their forward core is a one line. They don't have a lot of depth outside of that. I think they're lucky for a guy like Arseny Gritziak, who has come in and played well. Otherwise, their forward depth would just be absolutely horrible. Their one player is made of glass. When he's good, when he's healthy, he's phenomenal. But every single time he gets hurt at some point during the year for a long period of time, and the team just crumbles. I see none of you noticed my joke, but anyway, he's the incompetence from Tom Fitzgerald. Not only that, they have all their first round picks. Make a trade. Do something. There is no way. You see how this team has played the last couple of years, where last year they just fall off a cliff. During this year, they played terrible for most of the year, besides the first month and a half. Which funny, the first month and a half is not the full season, by the way. And you see the problems here. They're going on. They've been going on for a while, and you do nothing. Fired, gone.
Fired.
Send them to the sun. Gone.
Quickly. I'm just gonna go over this. These are the forwards that Fitzgerald passed on in favor of Anton Salayev.
Who's not even here, by the way. He's not even here.
Jesus Christ.
Konsta Helenius. I'm just saying Jet Luchenko was the first forward after him. Michael Brandstig, Nygaard, Cole Eiserman, Trevor Connolly, Michael Hage, Liam Greentree, Merrick Vanacker, Matt Gridden, Emil Hemming, and Sam O'Reilly. Those are the only ones I'm going to mention that they were notable. Notable, first of all, I don't name their 3 notable goal scorers too. In Greentree, Hage, and Eiserman.
Listen, I'm going to say this. You have forwards. You have a good chunk of players here on this team. You're lacking star power and legitimate offense. Another guy who hasn't worked out for this team at all either is Andre Palat. Remember when he signed that 5-year deal?
Oh, my God,
He's
yes.
done nothing.
Forgot about that.
I hang on. Let me combine the stats here really quick. He gets paid $6 million per year for 5 years. That is $30 million. You add up his totals here: 23 plus 31 plus 8. He has averaged 62 points over 2.5 seasons. Actually, no, I missed a season. Wait, hang on. 23 plus 31 plus 28 plus 8. All right, 90 points over 3 seasons. Or 4 seasons. 3.5. You get what I mean. That deal has not worked out at all. He has 8 points this season. He was signed to be a top 6 forward. He had some great years in Tampa Bay. He took a complete drop-off ever since he left that team. Complete drop-off. What more do I have to say?
I'm also looking at Fitzgerald's draft. Sorry, Tony. I know you want to get a word in here, but
yeah,
I'm looking at his draft picks in the late of last year. That looking how just look at how they've been doing. The 2 forwards he drafted in the second round, it's bad. You got Conrad Frondak, who is at BU, 5 points in 13 games. Then you have Kevin, who's at Arizona State right now, 4 points in 22 games.
Yeah, it's not fun,
yeah,
huh? It's not good.
Yeah, I'm gonna just let Tim go because Tim's trying to get a word in for a couple minutes now.
Yeah, I'm sorry, Tim. Sorry, we've been on a tangent.
No, you're good. Because I saw this. I think it was Bartner who posted this earlier. It's even if they wanted to move some of these guys around, they can't because fucking Fitzgerald throws out no trade clauses like candy. It's Halloween.
He's Oprah.
He gave Brett Pesce a no trade clause. He gave Kovacevic a no trade clause. And he gave Dougie Hamilton this modified no trade, a 10-team trade list. How can you move any? Brendan Dillon has a no trade clause.
You get a no move. You get a no move. Everybody gets a no move.
You can't do anything to make the team better when you handcuff yourself with the team that you're signing because you're handing out no trade clauses like it's nobody's business. These GMs think, oh yeah, this is a good idea. No. This is how you fuck yourself over by handing out no trade clauses and no movement clauses like it's nothing. It's unacceptable, and I'm pretty sure they just were able to get Kovacevic back off IR.
Mm-hmm.
Because they didn't have the cap space for it. You have Stefan Nason on LTIR right now. How are you going to be able to get him back? You're already $3 million over the cap.
Yeah, they got no cap space too. They have.
You're this bad. You have no cap space, and you're too much stuck in the sand to make. You have your head up your ass, and you won't make a move. I feel bad for Devils fans, but this is what they're getting. Until Fitzgerald figures out a way to do something, which I doubt he will, they're kind of stuck in no man's land.
Oh, fuck, I lost it.
Yeah, I think short term right now the Devils might be a little bit screwed. Just because all those no moves, you can't even get under the salary cap because of all the no moves. Because you need. This is why they're trying to move Dougie Hamilton. Also, because Dougie Hamilton's been scratched. Also, we didn't come up with the other reason why the Devils are struggling, and this is mostly a me thing. Who did Tom Fitzgerald hire as his head coach?
I don't know.
I'm not going there yet.
I'm going there because that was the reason I said they weren't going to be a serious contender.
I will say this: they've become they already were a very soft team before Sheldon Keefe came there. But Sheldon Keefe, when
made them softer.
The Maple Leafs were pretty soft, and bringing in a soft coach to a soft team hasn't really worked out.
No.
I'm sorry. Like if we're gonna criticize Fitzgerald and everything, this isn't one of the ones. The guy who runs your team is making your team softer. I will give him this, though. He is, when players are doing bad, he does give them the hard ass treatment. That's the one thing about Sheldon Keefe. Always matter. If you're playing bad, he's gonna tell you about it, and he will throw your ass in the press box.
He always takes accountability.
Yes.
I mean, he did leave Markstrom in there for the whole 9-0 loss. So
which was against Patrick Waugh, which is like the ultimate like chef's kiss. Like, remember when he got hung out to dry?
Yeah, it's
that turned into something, didn't it?
So furthermore here on Dougie Hamilton, because I do have some comments and things that I want to read. 2 tweets from Pierre LeBrun here involving the Hamilton situation. So Hamilton was scratched ahead of Sunday's game against the Winnipeg Jets. Healthy scratched, that is. And Pierre LeBrun reached out to Hamilton's agent, J.P. Barry. And Barry said in his response, Dougie was informed today that he will not be playing now that Kovacevic is back in the lineup. Not that he will not be playing because Kovacevic is just drawing in for a game. He will not be playing because he's now back in the lineup, which indicates to me that this will be more than one game. In our view, this decision is all about business rather than his game right now. Singling him out seems very calculated at this stage. Dougie is a 10-team trade list, and there have been efforts to trade him going back to the draft last year. We have made it clear to the Devils that we will consider teams outside our list in other creative ways to get to a team that is mutually acceptable. So Hamilton's camp will be willing to be flexible beyond the 10-team trade list if it means finding a suitable team in a trade. And then Pierre LeBrun reached out to Tom Fitzgerald. Just give me a second to pull up those comments here as well. There we go. I didn't know if it was going to take me back out of the search here. All right. Here's Tom Fitzgerald's comments. As you know, we just put Nemec back in lineup on Thursday. He's a young guy who we want getting his name back, where we had been easily our best defenseman before his injury. Pesci's play speaks for itself. He isn't going anywhere, and Kovacevic coming back gives our roster a spark we are looking for, and he was our best defensive defenseman all of last year. And that's what we want in our lineup now. This is simply Dougie being the odd man out where our right side is fully healthy for the first time all year. This is business of our lineup. And then one more thing here to read off. This was from Elliot Friedman on Saturday night. The Sharks tried to trade for him in the summer. He blocked the move due to his 10-team no-trade list. They were being on the block, of course. The feelings seem very hard on both sides. Hamilton feels like he's being targeted for the obviously non-performance reasons, and that contract termination is not on the table. One more thing before you guys give your thoughts. Dougie Hamilton is currently in the 5th year of a 7-year contract worth $9 million. The modified no-trade clause just kicked in this season. So, I mean, again, you can talk about how incompetent the contract is itself, but I just want to ask, like, is there a realistic destination for Dougie Hamilton right now?
First of all, come here. Come closer. Dougie Hamilton, look at me. Look me in the eyes. Pack your shit! Like, that's how this is going to be. You want to give me a realistic destination? I'll be honest, all the decisions I have in mind, you're not going to like them.
The problem is, though, is like what team nowadays is taking on contracts like that? Who's just like, yeah, let's do that.
I have a destination, but I don't think it works out though,
Okay.
and it only works out if another player is going to be moved to the deadline that I think might be available if the price is right. Nashville.
Ooh, that's interesting. Nashville for who?
Nashville takes on a bat. If Nashville wants to go down this direction of being actually going into a rebuild, taking on a bad contract, but they got to get something else back from New Jersey.
Well, LeBlanc, have you noticed that Nashville is actually starting to win games now?
I know, and then that's where my theory kind of died.
Yeah,
like the other option I see, and it makes no sense because they already have defensemen, but Vancouver.
Yeah.
The only way this is really going to work is if they trade him to a not good team or a team that is rebuilding, looking to just take on cap. And not only this, I also heard that they're not willing to retain salary on him, which I think you might as well just scratch him for the rest of his career. Like, there is no possible way you're going to be able to trade this guy without retaining some salary. You did this to yourself. You did this to yourself. Tom Fitzgerald, you signed that contract back in 2021. You did this. You signed up for this. This was all you. And now that your top guy that you signed is basically just been blacklisted from the lineup, you got to own that. That's your guy who you've just completely just destroyed here. Now, I'm not going to say that Hamilton's been phenomenal. I think a lot of it, obviously, some of it is on him, of course. But you completely just took one of your biggest acquisitions a couple of years ago, made the team look so exciting moving forward, and now it's just like he's been banished from the lineup. And now you got two Jonathan Kovaceviches playing, according to Capwitch. It's it's ridiculous. Tim, any thoughts?
I mean, I haven't dug it. This is going to sound crazy because he's already said no once. I don't think a San Jose trade would be a bad idea for them.
Yeah, I don't know why you wouldn't want to go there.
I feel like, especially looking at it now, especially for San Jose, for the right side, they have Timothy Liljegren, Vincent Ioro, and they have Nick Leddy playing the right side at the moment.
So they're somehow in a playoff spot with all of that. Imagine they get Dougie.
And they also have John Klingberg.
They also have Klingberg. Now, Hamilton would not be the savior, obviously, but imagine if he came in there. That defense would get a lot better.
He'd be their top pairing defenseman.
Instantly.
And that's saying something.
Yeah, but San Jose, nobody expected them to be this good, and with how it's been, yeah.
I don't know how San Jose would do it because they're not going to retain money, even though they're one of the only teams who technically could. They have 15 mil. They have 15 in cap space right now. Yeah, they have 15 million cap space at the moment. It's I could see that, but like James said, if they're going to take on the full deal, they'll want something back.
Yep.
And I don't know what Jersey's going to want to. Fitzgerald's already too stubborn to retain money. So Lord knows he's going to be too stubborn to give something back in return with it.
Hey, here's an idea. Why don't you trade Dougie Hamilton and one of the players who's in the fucking log jam?
Dougie and Seamus Casey, I wouldn't hate that idea. That's probably what San Jose would want back.
And I'll be honest, you probably get a fourth back.
Something like that.
Better than nothing. If you're trading him at no retention, there's no way.
You got it. You're going to be lucky to get a third, if that.
Maybe we're hating on Hamilton too much. He's not Darnell Nurse level terrible.
No. I think Hamilton's been. I don't think he's bad. I just think he's just been unlucky this year.
By Dougie Hamilton standards, he's not playing well though. I think he has 10 points in 40 games this year, or something like that. So it's
Hamilton
not
stats.
great.
Hamilton stats with New Jersey. Yeah, 10 points in 40 games played.
So it's not the defenseman that he was, but still, like, that's not a horrible defenseman, especially if he's been positive in the D zone. And if he hasn't, well, all right, never mind.
If you guys give me a second, I can pull up his JFresh card and put it up on the screen. Just give me a moment. But yeah, I mean, again, like there's a lot to it, and I think again, like I don't think it's been fully on Hamilton. Maybe it's just the fact that this team is going through a tough spot. But yeah, like I mean, it does feel like, and LeBlanc brought this up with like Team Canada, like they have a scapegoat, and it seems like Dougie Hamilton is being looked at as
New
the
Jersey scapegoat. Yeah.
Here's Hamilton's JFresh card. 66% WAR. His EV offense is 95%. EV defense 36%. It's not
Okay, so the points
great.
just aren't coming for him.
It's not great, but actually, when you look at the chart, it actually looks better. His defense actually looks like it's been better this year than it was last year, according to advanced analytics. But
Which is
again,
why
yeah,
I'm like, I think he's just been unlucky this year. Like, just not a great year for him. But maybe a change of scenery will help him.
yeah. And again,
Also,
like, if he was at,
he makes $9 million. Like that's you have to retain on that. There's no shot you don't retain on that.
Nobody's taking $9 million for free.
he's 32, and if you retained it like even 20%, and you made that like 7.5 or 7, I think a lot of teams would be barking up that tree. They'd be like, "Hey, we'll go for him. He's too expensive." And even when that contract was signed, we were like, "Wow, really? $9 million?"
Yeah, 20%. So if you retain 20%, that's 7.2.
That's. I think I would take Hamilton.
Teams would definitely
Not
be,
important.
like you said, teams would be barking up that tree for a $7.2 million Dougie Hamilton.
Yeah, and you may not get a ton back even still, but you'd get more than what you would if you traded him at full salary.
You get at least a semi-decent asset in return compared to a fifth.
Right. Yeah.
If
I
that
totally agree.
plus having to add on top of it,
I totally agree.